Hello, this is a quick instruction on the JP system wall. Basically, you start off by unpacking everything that you've got. Ensure that you have all your brick as per the ship list. Ensure that you have all your wall sections as per the drawings you're given. Open up and examine your drawings. The first thing you want to do is you want to align and orient exactly how your wall goes, and you want to mark on the wall exactly how wide the wall will span. The system is quite simple. It's a series of inserted brackets and standards, a tube that rides in the bracket. You fix the tubes, establish your heights. You then establish your hook furrings that go on the tubes at the appropriate heights, and then you just lift up and install the panels going left to right or right to left, whichever is more convenient in the store. Okay. What you do is you imagine that all of your wall will have to be level. You verify the floor level first, either with a laser or with putting in bracket sets and doing a tape measure to the floor. Once your floor level is ascertained, the floor, if it's a minor amount, an eighth or something off, not a problem. More than that, you're going to have to make allowances with the adjustable feet on the panels and the windows that go into the wall. The minimum height from the floor for the wood wall system and for the windows that go in it is ½ inch, because that is the amount the feet will stick out once they're fully screwed into the wall or the window. So you establish your brick wall ½ inch from the floor, starting from the highest point, so that's the lowest point of adjustment. Now, once you have established your horizontal brackets as close as you can to the floor to stabilize the wall, then you equi-space the further 2 rows from top to bottom, and try and make sure that your metal brace, your metal tube, is not in the way of where the rail will go to make it more difficult for you to screw the rail on at the top. You insert your brackets in the wall, maintaining them being horizontal across. You insert your tubes inside it. You stop your tubes 2 inches from the end of each wall, left and right, so that the total is 4 inches shy of the total length of the brick wall face. This is so that you have the thickness of the brick and the thickness of the plywood return calculated in the length of your tube. Put in some screws that are self-tapping and supplied to hold your tube in place. Then measure from the floor to the top of the tube for each height of tube, and then install your brackets on the wood ribs on the back of the panels, or in line with those tube points. You want to give yourself a space of 1/8 of an inch higher, so that when you lift up and hook your panels, there's 1/8 of an inch flay, so that you can level them a little bit as you travel. The panels are dovetailed in terms of having a prong or a receiver, and the prong and the receiver mate together to make your system stabilized and the surface of the plywood will stay flat. Once you've established that, put them together tight, drive a screw at a 45-degree angle into each panel joint, and you will then hold them together with those screws. Everything gets covered with the brick, so those screw heads should just be flush with the plywood, and everything will work out. Then you start installing your brick left to right or right to left based on the drawings, and you follow the cuts and instructions on the drawings in your package. There's a blue line at the bottom, full blue brick at the bottom, half blue and white brick next row up, and then everything else will be the white brick. And that basically is how the wall gets dressed. Now we're going to show you just visually how the wall looks as a bracket system and how the wall looks as you put it on and slide it in. So as you can see, the system has been installed here at the bottom. You see the bracketing, and you see how that works together, and you see the screws that hold it. This system then will be 3 bars, as I said, to support it, and basically that's the whole system set up to receive in the standards. For the shop model, the standards are surface mounted, which is why they're hard lines. In your stores, you'll find them as a recessed standard. Same concept, just that the standards are more showing here in the shop. So we've already attached 1 corner piece and 1 large panel width, just to give you an idea of what it'll look like together. And now I'll show you behind the wall what it looks like. So there's your bracketing system, and there you have how it goes together with your brackets. And you can see how this is sitting on it. And you should leave an 1/8 of an inch space here for adjustment. We had a perfect fit in the shop, so we could put it right on. I'll show you the back side of a panel, which is here. So there's your panel with your brackets set up. So when you start measuring them, here's your feet. This is your minimum height. You measure from that to the underside of here to reach the same distance to the top of the tube. Add an 1/8 of an inch for a little space, and then you work your way up until all 3 bracket sets are installed on the panel in this fashion. Then the panel is just picked up and put back onto the bracket system and slid together. You can see that this is the male, or female, sorry, and that this one here would have the male, as you can see right there. Okay, we're going to put this back together and show you how it's hung on. Now the total system with the window and Duratrans is as you see over here. Same concept. You put your rail up. You put your rail up with the Duratrans in place over here so that you get your height appropriate. Your Duratrans has no adjustment. You have to set it so that the wheels are on the ground, as you see there. And then wherever that lines up, you're going to have to then have your rail at the height underneath the wheels at the top of the Duratrans. And that's going to determine the height of your rail. Right there. You have to make sure that fits underneath the wheel of the Duratrans. So you put the rail on only when you know that the height of the Duratrans has established its verticality. And that is it. Window walls get screwed in place through the sides, and they go up against the tubes which are forming your wall system for your hanging panels. If you have a Duratrans that's recessed, you have to screw the Duratrans to the wall behind, so your tubes cannot continue behind the Duratrans in the Duratrans opening. But that is very rare. There are only a few of those, and most of them are the surface mounted Duratrans like this model here. Exactly like this model here. And then you do your brick caulking. You let it dry for 12 hours. Then you do your white paint application, and then your light antique finish, and your shot on the window. The antique finish is a mix of powder given in a small can. You put in a gallon, like the instructions are on the can. You mix it up and you spray it with a pesticide sprayer very lightly. You should be using, for this entire wall system you see in front of you here, you should use no more than about a quart of the material. You put it on at the top, starting to go down, and then you just put it on very lightly, and you protect the floor well so that anything that drips off gets caught. For the window treatment, there's a small pint of material. You have to wet the door first fully with water, and then spray it on throughout just spray it on raw on the door, or the windows rather, and then at the last shot, what you do is do a shot of the material in the center of each of the panes of glass, and just let that dry, looking as dirty as possible. And that's the wall.